welcome to another edition of In the Studio. Today we are in with representatives of the Work Online Dominica program, recently launched by the Government of Dominica in collaboration with IsraAID and the UNDP. I have with me Mr. Robert Tonge, who is the coordinator of the digital economy, and Ms. Clementine Afana, a digital skills specialist. They're here to tell us all about this new opportunity and how it fits into the new thrust to build a digital economy here. Mr. Tonge, I'd like to start with you, and you are the coordinator of the digital economy. I'm curious, and I'm sure you've gotten that question before. What is your role in this new function?
My role in this function is to ensure that Dominica can be number one. But more importantly, all of this is being done not for Dominica, but for the people of Dominica, to ensure that our people are ready for what is going on. Things are changing very quickly. COVID-19 has pushed things to the next level. We have seen that during Hurricane Maria, after Hurricane Maria, COVID-19, how businesses were impacted, the ability to transact. So the digital economy is one aspect of it is to allow our people to do transactions without, even when doors are closed. And that's one of the critical pieces, is to allow companies to do that, to allow individuals to provide services, not only in Dominica, out of Dominica, to earn additional money or to actually earn a job. It comes all the way down to our to the government itself in order to associate and speed up the economic activities and to make things more efficient. We have to make sure that all our systems are digital so that it's a lot easier to transact business in Dominica. Many people say it's too slow, but what we're doing is to make it faster, to even down to payments online. Mm-hmm. Imagine paying your driver's license online. You wouldn't have to go to the traffic department, or you wouldn't have to go to the treasury to make a payment and then go to the birth certificate registry to do all of these things. The same thing applies to your medical history. Imagine if all of that was online in a secured environment. It'll be so much easier and quicker for you to get service by doctors and at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Clementine Afana, similarly, digital skills specialist, that may be a term unfamiliar to many people. What do you do?
Okay. So as a digital skills specialist, I help people identify which unique skills they have to make themselves more marketable online. All right. So essentially, we basically help looking at your work experience, your educational experience, your social involvement, social activities. We extract the skills that you have, and then we show you how you can use those skills for you to land jobs online, because the online marketplace is constantly growing and has done so even more with the pandemic, you know. So with this current era in which we are, it's an amazing and, you know, unmatchable opportunity for people to really leverage the skills that they have and expand them to a wider marketplace.
Mm-hmm. I would like to go into this a little bit deeper. People may be listening and wondering, this new focus on the digital economy, how is it expected to benefit me as a young entrepreneur, as anybody who might be interested in expanding services, etc.? First, Mr. Tonge, what do you say to them about the kinds of opportunities that may be available to them?
So we always have to put things in perspective. We wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is put our phone in our hand before we even say, good morning, honey. Same thing at night is the last thing that we put down. So these devices are in our hands all of the time. So we can either use them to do nonsense, we can use them for educational purposes, and we can also use them for transactions. You have the new set of people coming up now, what they call Generation Z, and they are all digitally enabled. So if you are not able to transfer your business and offer these same services to that generation, those who are providing those services will crush it, as they would say, and you will be left behind. Obviously, you still have to provide services to all people, but you will be missing out a significant part. So the Government of Dominica wants to ensure that our people are not left behind, our companies are not left behind. We don't want people coming out of Dominica, coming into Dominica, being enabled and knowing what to do, and leaving our people behind. So we are ensuring that businesses are going to be enabled. we're going to ensure our youth, our young people, our middle-aged people, and even our elders are informed so that they can take the advantage. And even our government systems will be changing so that we can provide the services that are required. If you don't change, you are going to be left behind.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Fana, I know you've pushed working online and the many opportunities available to people to work online and make money. What is your take on why they should be taking advantage of these opportunities now?
Okay. I'm going to give you 3 examples. Let's say I'm a recent college graduate, and you know everybody in Dominica knows when you finish college, usually the next step is to find a job until you can either get a loan to go to school and pursue higher education. But it's not always easy. So let's say I'm a recent college graduate, or I'm planning on graduating this year. I learned economics, maybe I learned Spanish as well, and I probably took some engineering courses, right? So I have some background knowledge. When it comes to the online marketplace, there are clients looking for people with this kind of background knowledge. It could be to review documents, it could be to give a different perspective, it could be to teach a different language. So as a recent college graduate who has done those things at the college level, you can share your expertise at your level. And you don't have to be like an expert, you don't need to have a master's or a PhD, that you just need to know more to be able to provide that service. I'm going to give you another example. I'm a teacher. Let's say you teach at primary school or at the college level or even at university. As a teacher, you learn to deal with students. You also strengthen your knowledge on those specific topics. There are people out there looking for tutoring, especially with the COVID pandemic, where a lot of people are now homeschooled. A lot of schools have not reopened, and a lot of students might take a gap year, and go back to school later. So there are a lot of parents and a lot of schools looking for people with specialized knowledge to be able to come and teach. Let me take another example. One of my favorite, perhaps, I'm a musician, right? A lot of people think that for you to share your music knowledge, you need to be physically present there. But we know that the pandemic has affected people who are in the arts world. So as a musician, a guitarist or a keyboard player or even a singer, what you can do is you can teach music online. There are so many platforms and so many people who are now doing digital music academies. There are people who want somebody to teach music to their children back home. So you can even play tracks, record tracks and sell them, because there are people looking for musicians to add to their to their current music projects all over the world. And I'm talking about all over the world. So we could go on, and I can give you so many other examples, but that is just to show you that now is the perfect moment to propel yourself, because out of challenges, opportunities arise. And people should be using this as a momentum to not just diversify their sources of income, but also grow into a new marketplace, because really digital is the future.
And one such opportunity that you're developing together is the Work Online Dominica. And I want to hear from both of you, how do you define this program, Mr. Tonge?
So just for clarity, knowing that this is important, the Government of Dominica is aware of this, and the Government of Dominica has ensured that it is part of their objective, of some of the key objectives going forward. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to take some time. So the Government of Dominica has partnered with IsraAID and the UNDP to start this pilot program, again, to make sure that our people are ready. And as Afana said, no, I think I have the wrong name.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Clementine. As she said, this is not you providing your services in Dominica only. It's the entire world. It's not 1,000 people. It's not 10,000 people. It's not 70,000 people, the population of Dominica. It's the entire world. So you who are actually watching that program, all of us have certain skills that we have. And it's just important for you to say, hey, I have this particular skill. I'm really good at it. I can sell that skill to someone. Someone who's not able to do that is going to buy that skill or those services from me. So what the government is doing is to ensure that as many of our people are ready. Because if they are not ready, you're going to say, hey, what happened? Oh, all of this has happened. I didn't even know, and you're going to be left behind. We don't want our people to be left behind. So we have this pilot program, which is for persons 18 to 40. The deadline was supposed to be on the 25th of July. We extended it because as we're doing this great program, we've been doing a string of programs. And I think people need to also look at what the team is doing. So it's not just putting out a little advert on the paper and hoping that people will see it. We've been consistently coming out there on Facebook, on GIS, on all of the radio stations to make sure that people are aware. And all of these things are some of what you're going to be taught, because people assume if you put an advert on one radio station, everybody's going to hear it. No. Some people like this one, some people like that one. You're going to put an advert on Facebook, but some people are on Instagram, some people are on Instagram, some people are on TikTok, many people don't even know what TikTok is. That's a huge place that a lot of people have to go, and especially those who are musicians and creators. It's an amazing place. So the government is trying to make sure that we set up our people so that they can be ahead of others and they can earn an income and take care of their family. So we're really happy for the support of IsraAID. We're really happy for the support of the UNDP. But in addition to that, the Government of Dominica secured $28 million US, again, to ensure that we have a proper crafting of the digital economy, reviewing our laws and legislation to ensure that we are ready for it. And in that whole scheme of things, there's also $2 million US, again, just to make sure that our people are trained and ready. Businesses are trained and ready. Our government people are trained and ready. But guess what? You can provide the information, but you are the ones who have to take it and put it in place.
Mr. Fana, how do you define the Work Online Dominica program?
So I see it as a 3-month experience. So the program is going to be run over the course of 12 weeks. A transformative experience throughout which the participants are going to learn how to get started, for them to land their first online job, even if they have no experience working online. And throughout the program, we're going to cover every single thing that is essential for you on your online work journeys. We're talking about first identifying the skills that you have. How do I know what I'm good at? Can I market this skill? And if yes, how can I do it? Then we're going to talk about how to find your perfect client, because there are so many clients out there, right? But you need to know which client needs your skills and how you can approach that client. We're going to talk about how to pitch to that client. Once you have identified that client, how to pitch your services at the level where you are, whether you are a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced, skilled person. How can you pitch yourself at the level where you are? We're also going to talk about how to prepare for online interviews. A lot of people feel like, because things are online, they are more relaxed, or, we can just do what we want. But there's strategy behind it. How do you present yourself professionally online, and what do online employers look forward to in applicants? We talk about building relationships with your online clients, because once somebody has purchased from you, they are going to purchase again if you know how to keep that relationship. So we're going to talk about all these things, securing repeated businesses, and how to pitch yourself on different platforms, and know which platforms to apply to, how to avoid scams, and so forth. So at the end of the program, the goal is to have each applicant feel not just more confident in the skills that they have to offer, but also know how they can market those skills and feel more at peace and at ease, knowing that even if the physical economy doors close, like Mr. Tonge made allusion to earlier, you have an alternative option, to market your skills online and to open up to contribute to the online global market.
Let me just add one piece there.
Sure.
So in addition to that, we've extended the deadline by another week.
Yes.
To ensure that more people can join. Yes, we have a significant amount, and I think we even have more. But again, people have been saying, "Hey, you guys have been doing a good job. We want an opportunity, because we didn't hear about. We heard about it late. We want an opportunity to join." And in addition to that, I want to plead to all the men, please sign up. Please sign up. It's a great opportunity. Don't get left behind. So the men, please sign up.
You are finding that men are more reluctant to sign up. Is that a general thing we see in terms of their participation online and how they view opportunities in the online workplace, Mr. Fana and Mr. Tonge?
From what I've seen, having worked online, I actually see a fair amount of, male representation, especially for a wide variety of fields, like the technical fields, writing fields, web development, and so forth. I see a lot of male representation, but they are from different countries, right? So, but what we've noticed with the Work Online program, and because we started looking at the applications already and seeing what trends are emerging, we are noticing that there are a lot more female applicants over males. So it's like maybe a 7-to-1 ratio, you know, if I'm being modest.
Wow.
So that's why Mr. Tonge is pleading to more young men to apply for the program and be considered. Because it's an equal opportunity for
And they
everyone.
don't need to have any professional degree or anything like that. You have a skill, you think you're great at it. This is an opportunity for you to learn and to present those skills. Even the guys I see inside of here,
Yeah.
they have amazing skills in different areas. There are people all over the world who need those services. There are people in Dominica who need these services because even if you have a business, you have a great website, it is not sufficient. Even if you have an e-commerce site, it's not sufficient because you need images, you need content to create the content, you need graphic designers, you need videographers, you need people to write. I may be able to create great content, but I can't write. So all of these things are opportunities for people to sell it and hone in on their skills.
We've mentioned throughout the discussion so far that this is all part of government's new focus on expanding a digital economy. Here, Mr. Tonge, as a government representative in all of this, are you confident that the Work Online program falls directly in line with those objectives?
Definitely. It definitely falls in line. And as I said, a huge part of the budget is specifically to make sure that our people are trained, because you can put all of these things in place, but if our people don't understand and they don't see how it's going to benefit them, then they will not adopt it. So we are doing a lot of work in that area, and this is a pilot program to make sure we get it almost right, and then we continue with the training in all different areas. And we're also appealing to persons, not just in the Roseau area. We want people throughout Dominica to jump on board and take this opportunity serious. And there'll be a lot more opportunities, so you also have to listen. If you don't listen, all of these opportunities are going to pass you by. You have to listen.
I think it's important to recap some of those details in a bit. But when the Prime Minister spoke about the digital economy in December of 2019, he specifically said that he wanted it driven by young people. What do you guys think? How important is it to involve youth in this process?
The youth are going to be the easiest people to convince because they are already using all of these technologies. I can just think of my kids in terms of what they do. I mean, yes, I think the only reason why I'm at this stage because I made it important to me to be aware, but many people are not aware. Many people have a phone, but they use 2 or 3 features when this has tons and tons of features. I always remember a friend of mine writing down notes on a manual and spending over half an hour, and his daughter wants to go home and he's still writing until she said, "Dad, let's take a picture of the notes." And it's like, wow. You know, so the youth are the ones who are going to mainly drive it, and we also hope that the youth now can also go back to the parents and impact on all of these things. Generation Z is the same one who are teaching their parents how to use the devices, where to go and shop. So you also have to ensure, even when you're doing your marketing, you cannot say, well, it's only from 18 and upwards. You have to capture maybe people from 15 or even 12, because they are the ones giving their parents information and teaching their parents about technology. So you have to actually incorporate all of them in what you do.
Ms. Afana, you've done this kind of work for a while. You are very visible online. What are the skills and attitudes required from people who have that interest in taking their skills online? What do they need to bring?
I'm glad that you asked that question. I go with the mentality that anything is teachable. You know, there are things that I'm doing right now that I wasn't doing 10 years ago, and I felt to myself, if I can say in my Dominican terms, boy, you know, this thing is not for me, but here I am doing it. And, you know, even speaking in front of a camera is one of those. It might sound as surprising, you know. So, but what I found in myself and also in other people that I know who have succeeded online, what I found to be the common denominator was dedication, motivation to succeed, and willingness to go the extra mile. You know, once you are motivated and you're dedicated and you want to go the extra mile, it will push you to go forward when things get tough. Because with an initiative like this, it's very new. You know, the digital world is very new to a lot of people. We know about spending money online, but we don't know about earning money online. And generally, the human mind, when you expose it to something that is new and that is scary, people tend to retract.
Yeah.
So instead of going forward, people tend to retract. So having the dedication and the willingness to succeed will help you push those mental barriers that you will feel whenever you want to start something new. That, to me, is like cornerstone. You must have those things. But in addition to that, for you to be a part of the Work Online Dominica program, you need to have access to a computer. Mm-hmm. It could be your computer or somebody else's computer, because a lot of the modules that we're going to be teaching and stuff need to be implemented, and it's just a lot easier and a lot more comfortable doing it from a wider screen. The same applies to applying for jobs online. And, you know, with the computer also goes internet connection.
Mm-hmm. What other, you mentioned, Mr. Tonge, that the application period has been extended. Mm-hmm. People who are still interested in applying, what information do they need to submit?
So the application is composed of 3 key things. The first thing is an application form that you can get on the website, which is workonlinedominica.org. Mm-hmm. See, we made it very simple. And the application form basically gathers information about yourself, your work experience, you know, your time availability, and so forth. The second thing they need to submit is a 300 words personal statement. And we made it 300 words simply because, you know, we don't want it to be too long, and you want to be concise and to the point as to what you think the program is going to bring for you, what you have to bring, what skills you have, and so forth. They can also get that information on our official website. And the third thing that they need to provide is a 1-minute video describing themselves, their academic background, their achievements, and what they hope to achieve in the program. Now, we have included that information on the website, but also on the application form. So the information is complementary and complete, and basically they complete each other. So application form, personal statement, and video.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Tonge, I like to think long term, and we've spoken about the fact that this has become increasingly important, more important within the context of COVID-19. But looking ahead, the people who participate and who wish to participate, how are they expected to benefit long term? And we're always thinking, how do we make money from this? Mm-hmm. But even more importantly, how does the economy as a whole benefit? What do you say to that?
So first of all, nothing good comes easy, mm-hmm. and nothing good comes overnight. Mm-hmm. So as a result of that, you're going to be equipped to sell your services, and you're going to be talking about, and you're going to be offering services that you're passionate about. So that's why writing 400 words is going to be so easy if it is something that you're passionate about and talking about yourself. So it's going to be very easy. But once you have that, what you're going to be doing is to be able to extend those services throughout the world. So one, Dominica has always been known for having very smart people, and we've always been in a position where we've also exported those services. Now with the digital economy, it makes it so much more easy, mm-hmm. to do that. So what we're doing is equipping our people for not only for now, but for the future, to offer these services throughout the whole of Dominica. And you have people who are working who are going to be interested because they're still passionate about certain things. They can still provide these services. And you have those who are not employed who have a range of services and talents that they can use to go out there. Another one is just being an influencer. You know, it is huge. I know this one guy in Dominica who's a huge influencer, and he has now taken that part of it and he has spun it around and is offering advertising services, and he's doing, mm-hmm. a fantastic job of it. I'm sure, mm-hmm. all of you will know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so he's doing a fantastic job. Yeah. But again, all of these things come out as a result of challenging times, and we move forward. In 2008, there was no Uber, there was no Airbnb, there were none of all, mm-hmm. of these amazing services. Yeah. And all of these services came about as a result of pressure being put on, yes. us. The pressure is on us again, and what we're doing is just making sure that you are equipped and you can sell those services in Dominica, out of Dominica. You can take care of your family, and the world is your oyster.
Stick with me a bit, and you can call it reassurance. How do we know that this is not another Vai thing in our Dominican context, that we talk about this for a year or so and we're very enthusiastic about it, and then it dies out?
So, as I said, importantly, the most important part of this is the knowledge. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're going to have, the government is putting the infrastructure in place to ensure that our schools have internet and these places have internet, and all of that is being done. But the world I shouldn't even say is changing. The world has changed. It took over 10 years for the economy in the world to have an adoption for internet technologies and e-commerce. But many people are saying right now, it took 10 years to do that, but they're sure it has moved from 10 to between 20 to 30%, and that has happened in a space of less than 6 months. Things have changed, the horse has run already, and we have to ensure that our people are ready for it. And that's why we're ensuring that people are educated. And hopefully these programs will go on over and over again. And even when these programs stop, there's a wealth of information online. People use the internet for all sorts of reasons. But there is the positive. There's a lot of information. Last night I want to do certain things. I bought a bicycle. I want to exercise to get my stomach down a little bit because, you know, for ensuring that I'm healthy. And I didn't know, but all I had to do was Google it, and I saw so many videos to educate myself. Even in terms of e-commerce and digital economy and everything else, I shouldn't be saying that, but information is out there. And one of the ways is to provide free information, because if somebody considers me to be the guru, guess who they're going to come to when they want proper services? They're going to come to me. So we want to ensure that we have tons and tons of little gurus in Dominica offering their services, going out there on a regular basis, posting once a week, a month, once a week, once a day is not sufficient. You have to post at least 7 times a day. So the government is just making sure that our people are ready. Everybody's not going to listen, and you have tons of people. So you want to send me into my whole entrepreneur thing, the cash flow quadrant, the E, the S, the B, and the I. So another day you can maybe but we're just making sure that our people are ready, people have the knowledge, because we don't want other people to come into Dominica and take over. If you don't educate yourself, things are going to happen so quickly, you're going to see, but what really happened?
Mr. Fana, by way of summary, your own take on the overall benefits of the Work Online Dominica program for those who will be involved.
Thank you. At the end of the program, the transformation that we promise is that every single participant is, again, going to feel more confident in the skills that they have to offer for the digital economy, but also to grow themselves. They're going to be reassured to know that they have an alternative pathway of making money online, and they're going to be exposed to a wider market that they can tap into easily for them to grow their businesses or their personal finances. In addition to that, working online is also an opportunity to develop yourselves and earn new skills, because as Mr. Tonge said, you will start with let's say a subset of skills, but the world is changing and the demands are changing. But if you're already in the field, if you are in the room where this happens, you can adapt to the changes easier compared to somebody who is not even in the room, who hasn't even looked, who is still sleeping on their bed, you know? So you need to be in the room where this happens. And when you condition yourself to learn new things, you can only learn more. And the more you learn, the more skills you acquire, the more marketable you are. The more you can charge, the more you can earn, the more you can grow, the more you can build. And if you're a business owner especially, there are added advantages to that. Imagine you being able to train your staff to learn those skills to make your business grow more. Imagine you being able to reach to clients in Dubai, in Africa, you know, in the Philippines or in Taiwan. Imagine you being able to ship your products all over the world because you were able to target those specific clients. You know, so it has repercussions, it has benefits for the person, for the business, and overall for the country, because you are now bringing your country to on a different kind of map. So there you have it.
Just to set some perspective, a lot of times people say, oh, what is this? Oh, internet, that is for Facebook, it's for this. And people say, boy, it can't work. They're all different types of people. So there are those who see the glass half full and those who see it half empty. I see it full. Half water, half air. It's full, right? So perspective is everything. Many of us would say, it's not going to happen, it can't happen. But guess what? There are examples right here in Dominica of companies who were able to adapt and change very quickly and provide orders via WhatsApp or even having systems to do that. There's this company in Dominica called Clay Harbor, and I must say congratulations to the management team. You could have had, they had what, 800 people, 900 people employed. They could have sent every single person home. They thought out of the box. And it's the same thing, using the digital economy, using the internet platforms that we have. Dominica has amazing internet, right? So you have over 500 people, 500 staff who are still employed at their homes right now offering all of these services. So if they can do it, imagine they may say, you know something, I don't need this huge building anymore. It could be done online. So again, open your minds and you'll realize there's tremendous amount of opportunities. Also make sure your circle is one where you have other people pulling you up. Okay? If you're the only one pulling people up, then you need to add some additional friends to your circle.
Yeah, I think that's very good
And
advice.
not the other circle we're talking about.
That's good advice, and we thank you so much for this very interesting discussion. In fact, I think there's so much more we could talk about at another time. Thank you, Mr. Tonge and Ms. Afana. We look forward to the success of the Work Online Dominica
Thank you.
program
Thank
and
you.
its overall benefits for the Dominican economy. Thank you so much for joining us.